Upgrades, people, upgrades. Okay, no faffing around. Fifine sent me their Tank 3 microphone, brand new product, and they wanted me to talk about the good sides and the bad, and there is a little bit of both with this mic. Here is all of the super techie, nerdy stuff that I'm kind of scared to get into because everyone in the comments is going to tell me that I'm wrong about something. There are a lot of strange words up there. I know that one, but I'm guessing if you're here, you simply want to know whether or not it's worth investing your money into, so let's talk about that. Now, I wouldn't consider this a budget microphone at $90 or around about 70-something pounds. It's both a USB microphone and a XLR. Perfect for people who, like me, have always used USB mics and eventually they want to step up. Now you have the opportunity to do so, and you don't have to invest into another microphone further down in the future. On the bottom of the microphone, you'll see both ports alongside a headphone jack for audio monitoring and whatnot. On the face of the microphone, you'll find two dials that control both the microphone audio level and the headphone output level. And of course, we have a wonderful little mute button that changes color when you press it. This is the first microphone that I've ever owned that has all of these little knobs and switches and stuff built right in. And I've got to say, for convenience, it's really nice just to be able to... It's a fun little gimmick, but if you do live streaming and stuff like me, it's nice. Like, say my kids walk in, I can just boop, and I don't have to worry about them showing me up in public. Not to mention the design for this mic, I think is genuinely really, really nice. It's really pretty, but it does come at a bit of a cost because this mic is incredibly heavy duty. The body is all metal, the dials are plastic, but they still feel really nice. Just watch out for the weight, as the microphone doesn't come with any kind of stand, so you're going to want to grab yourself some kind of heavy duty arm. This one I actually had from my previous mic, and somehow it's holding up, but I can occasionally see it drooping under the weight of this mic. Fifine actually sell arms specifically made for their microphones, which is great. They are a little bit on the pricier side, but I suppose if you're investing into something like this, you may as well go all the way. There'll be links down below to everything. Check them out, see if it's in your budget. If not, shop around elsewhere. Okay, that's that covered. Let's stop drooling over the aesthetics, turn the music down, and really focus on the audio quality. Okay, a quick disclaimer, I am by no means an audio expert. If you're looking for somebody to break down the details as to why it has a nice warm tone, what the frequency response is like, and what the bit depth really means, that's not me. I make silly YouTube videos and I try to translate my own thoughts into content that maybe you'll find helpful or entertaining, but all the technical stuff? Not so much. If it sounds good to me, it's a good microphone. If it doesn't, that's it's bad. That's the extent of my knowledge. As it stands right now, we are currently recording the Fifine Tank 3 in USB mode, and it sounds really, really good. For a USB mic and for this price point, I'm impressed. But there is one little caveat, one observation, I suppose. You seem to have two choices when it comes to this microphone, right? You can either be super up close and personal, kind of seducing and ingesting the diaphragm as you talk, and that gives you really nice sounding audio, and you can drop the gain down all the way like this, so you can get nice and close. I'm keeping an eye on my levels to make sure that I'm not peaking too much, but this sounds alright, and I'm nice and close, but I'm probably less than a centimeter away from the actual grill itself. But what I found is that when I'm speaking super, super close, not only is it picking up the breath from above, but it's also picking up all of the plosives and not doing a good enough job of mitigating all of those sounds. So I tend to use this when I'm up close and personal. The alternative is that you can raise the gain all the way up like this. You pick up more of the background noise, but you don't have to be right next to the mic. But I still have to be within, I'd say, about 5 centimeters for it to be able to pick me up properly. Ideally, you want your mouth to be between 2 to 4 finger widths away from the diaphragm at all times, speaking at a normal volume. Here are a few examples. So based on the dial on the side, I'm currently recording at 25% of the maximum volume. I'm now recording at 50%, and as you can see, the audio is sounding better, but it's starting to get a little bit close to the top. This is the setting that I find myself using the most, and it's around about 75% of the input volume. So you need to have the gain really high, particularly in USB mode. And this is the mic turned all the way up to 100%. I can kind of lean back a little bit and relax, but then you do start picking up all of the other audio. You get a lot of gain, you get a lot of that noise. I think 75% around about here is manageable, but 75% just to be able to capture like a normal volume without too much background gain, that seems a little bit strange. The Fifine Tank 3 is like an overly attached girlfriend. Amazing, beautiful, gorgeous, but she needs a lot of attention. However, an overly attached girlfriend can be a good thing. This microphone does an incredible job at noise isolation, so what you probably haven't heard is that I've actually got music playing in the background over here. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's been there the whole time. This thing is incredible when it comes to cutting out all of those extra sounds. So in terms of the plosives and the things like that, let's do a little test, okay? So I'm going to say a couple of words and phrases and you telling me how it sounds to you. Bear in mind, I'm about 2-3 centimeters away from the microphone and the gain is set to around about 70-75%. Ice, ice, icicle. Pop, pop, popsicle. Test, test, testing the microphone. 1, 2, 3. How does that sound? Is that too much? Is it okay? As a forenote before we move on to a couple of other bits, it's worth noting that this microphone certainly seems to favor higher pitched tones. My voice, I would like to say, is somewhere in the low to medium range, and it does represent my voice quite well, adds a nice warm tone to it, which is great, but I can't help but feel that it does make my voice sound a little bit flat at certain times. It's not a game breaker. I think maybe I'm just too used to the sound of my old microphone. I need to spend a little bit more time with this one. Now, for this video and this video only, I actually went out and brought one of these. It's a cardboard box. I'm spoiling myself. We could do some ASMR. Oh, it's a cable. This is a mixer, and it's really cool. I have no idea how to use this. This is the Focusrite 2i2 Generation 1. So this is an old mixer. I just went and got this from a secondhand store because I really wanted to try out the XLR stuff. I would tell you more about it, but I don't know anything about it. I literally just got this. There are dials and stuff. They do things. What does this do? Oh, this is super old, and apparently the newer generations are way better than this, and this is kind of buggy in terms of drivers, but hopefully it works, because it was kind of expensive considering it's really old. I also, and this is a little nitpicky again, I had to go out and buy one of these, okay? It's an XLR cable, because the Fifine Tank3 doesn't actually come with one of these. Now, I've seen other people open up their boxes, do a little unboxing thing, and there's an XLR cable in there, so I don't know if it's just a luck of the draw. Some people get them, some people don't. But I couldn't actually find any mention of this on their website. There doesn't seem to be an option to add one on without extra pricing and stuff, so maybe they just stopped shipping them with XLR cables to save a few pennies, which is fine, but might be something you want to mention on your website, because I feel like this microphone right here is perfect for those people who want to step up from USB mics over to XLR. But in the process of them taking that step, you have, I think, accidentally added another step to that journey. But anyway, let's get this bad boy plugged in and see if it actually works, and even more importantly, if it improves the quality of the Fifine Tank 3. Okay, first of all, can you hear that? I cannot hear any noise. This is crazy. I'll be honest, I kind of underestimated how much of an impact using XLR and a mixer, audio interface, I think, is that even a mixer? I definitely underestimated how much of a difference it was going to make. USB has always been my go-to, like I said earlier on, but after plugging this in, and as you can tell, time has passed, I've had a chance to test a couple of things, and I am blown away at how much better this mic sounds using an XLR. I just had to listen to that back. I'm constantly recording little things and then like checking to make sure that it's still as good as I think it is. Dude, I never got any results like this with my previous mic. This is crazy. And just for a point of reference, by the way, I'm currently the furthest away from the mic that I recommended earlier. If I got really close and I started speaking at this kind of volume again, I'd have to turn it down, which is the opposite of the experience I had with the USB mode. So that's kind of crazy. Okay, so this one should have been a lot more obvious than I initially gave it credit for, but having it in XLR mode is a huge upgrade. So even if you get it for the USB mode, right? And eventually, over time, you put a bit of money away. You buy a mixer, an interface, or whatever the hell that thing is. I'm sure you guys are going to call me out in the comments. I think that this is a very versatile mic, and the USB mode is not bad by any means. You just have to get a little bit closer, a little bit more personal, speak, like that, and then go through the XLR mode. You can back up, we can turn the gain up even more, and there's nearly a 2 hands worth of distance right now between me and the mic, and I think that the gain is exactly where it was before. It's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to stop gushing over how good this mic sounds in the XLR mode. Hopefully it translates well in video and you can hear the difference. Obviously, I recommend you wear headphones when listening to this. Now, I'll be honest, right? The USB mode, it's better than my previous mic, but my previous mic I had owned for nearly 15 years. The old mic is this guy right here, the Samsung CO1U. Now, this is an incredible USB mic. Like I said, it's very old, and at the time, it was actually cheaper than this one. The Fifine Tank3 narrowly beat it, and that's me being 100% honest. This is a fantastic mic, but in comparison, would it be worth spending that extra money to upgrade? I don't know, that's subjective. But as soon as you put this thing in right here, the XLR, it changes everything, and it really brings out the very best that this mic has to offer, and I'm not going back. This is my full-time mic now, and I'm so thankful to Fifine for completely upgrading my audio setup. Now, one thing that probably is worth noting, I assumed that if I put the USB cable in here, it would provide power to the mic. And people who've used XLR stuff before, you probably already know this, but it doesn't work like that. You can plug the USB in, but you still won't be able to use the mute button. The dials won't do anything. In XLR mode, everything goes through the interface. So all of this is kind of redundant, which is a shame because I really like that functionality. There may be some workaround, and if anybody knows how to do that, let me know. It seems a shame to have all these cool little features built into the mic and then have to exchange it to get better audio quality, but I'm not complaining. All right, that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap this video up here. I hope I managed to answer some of your questions about this microphone. I think that it's a very good upgrade from my previous mic. Links to everything are naturally down below. I'll link to the Fifine Tank3 on both their website and on Amazon. I will also throw a link to Fifine's arm. That's probably going to be the next thing that I have to upgrade because this thing is like, it's struggling, man. But Fifine, and yes, I know I've been saying Fifine the whole time. That's how they told me it was pronounced. I'm not just an invalid. Well, I am, but that's a different... We're not talking about that right now. Fifine, thank you so much for hooking me up with a microphone. It's awesome. I love it. And I appreciate you taking a chance on a tiny little YouTube channel like me. All right. I love your faces. You're amazing. You're beautiful. Tap the subscribe button if you want to see more of my giant forehead. And I'll catch you in the next one.